What's going down, beautiful people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another stream. Joined today by two very special guests, Ron White and Alex Reymundo. Let me tell you guys right now, man, this was a beautifully chaotic stream. I loved it. I had a great time. We talked about the two comics' incredible careers in comedy, 20 plus years each, doing incredible feats across the entire business. And of course, chatted about number one tequila, which Alex was pouring up during this interview. If you want information on any of the products or endeavors that the guys have going on, make sure to hit their social links down below. We also have a link for number one tequila if you want to get that delivered. It's now available all across Canada, so I highly recommend you go and get yourself a bottle of that. And I just wanted to give you guys a quick little intro, man. Of course, we don't tape these live, the actual interview portions for the most part right now, because you never know what's going to happen. You never know if the call is going to drop or whatever the case may be, but definitely wanted to tap in and let you guys know that we have a fresh brand new interview for you guys right now. So listen, why come up with something to say when there's nothing? I might as well just go ahead and roll this interview. Here is my conversation with Alex Reymundo and Ron White. Let's run it. Hey, there we go. Perfect. On the golf course.
Is that where you are, Teddy?
I'm on the golf course losing money, so I don't care. Drag this out till tomorrow.
We'll make it a logwood.
Huh?
How much are you down?
I'm down $10, but we've only played 2 holes, and
oh shit!
And he just made a par on the 3rd hole, but I'm skipping it. I'm going to catch up with him, but that means I got to make a par just to stay down 10. So it's horrible. My
man's having a rough start to the day. Well, listen, Ron White, Alex Reymundo, I really appreciate you guys taking the time. I know there's a lot going on right now with number one tequila, man. You guys are expanding into Canada. You guys are already in 30 states. This must be insane. I mean, talk to me about how this feels. Yeah, and cheers as well. I wish I had one.
Cheers. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's spectacular. I went down today to the Specs Liquor in Austin. And they were out of 2 and had 3 extra añejos, and I bought them. But so now that Rogan's got a club down there, it's kind of hard to keep it on the shelf, and people are really getting turned on to it. So, I would like to have been able to pick up all 3, but I got to make room for others.
I guess it's a good problem to have, though, right?
Absolutely.
Speaking of Rogan's Club, of course, the comedy mothership in Austin, I've seen both of you sort of making posts over there. What can you tell us about that club? Because obviously I know there's a lot of differences in the way that, clubs are typically run.
Well, in Joe's club, I tell you the biggest difference. Number one, it's the best comedy club I've ever seen in 38 years, by far.
Wow.
It's so well thought out from beginning to end, but it's really built around the comedians, which I like. With an amazing green room. The big difference between Joe's club and any other club is 80% of the door revenue goes to comedians every night.
Wow.
As opposed to the Comedy Store, which we all love and hold dear, but that was a $35 paycheck.
Right.
So Joe is all about the comedians, and just his gift really to us. And himself, he needed it too, because he stays on stage all the time, and he needed a place to do it. And but it was just the greatest thing ever. Last week, I think I did 12 sets.
Oh,
wow, that's incredible.
Yeah,
and that's the way it should be. And I remember, Ron. Remember when we were young comics and we started out? There was a big boom in comedy clubs across the country, and we were working a good chunk of them. And then there was a little dip in the comedy club scene. And when that dip happened, a lot of those chains, the first thing they did was cut the budget, which was a horrible idea. Cut the budget of the talent.
Not very inviting.
Let's spend less on that.
Yeah.
And that's when that happened. That's when I moved to Mexico. That's when I said to hell with this and moved to Mexico and started selling pottery.
It sounds like a better plan. I mean, that's awesome, though.
And not to be confused, don't make sure you add the ERY at the end of his word there.
Yeah, exactly. We'll make a little edit there. That's the new headline for today.
Yeah.
You guys have obviously been doing this for a lot of years, and you have incredible experience in stand up. What would you say is the main difference, doing stand up in the circuit today compared to when you started, like you mentioned, Alex?
Well, you know what? I'd like to say that all along the way, I've said what I've wanted to say. So I don't worry too much about that. Now, of course, in the beginning, probably a lot of things I was saying was pretty trite. It's just low hanging fruit, as Tater would call it, and probably some of the things I say today are very juvenile. But I've never concerned myself with what I'm going to say. I'm mostly concerned with myself with how I present it, because I've always thought that if I can regurgitate my thoughts to make them palatable for people, then they're gonna dig on it. And what's changed for me is in the early days, I used to be afraid before I went on stage because I didn't want to suck. You
Right.
just want to be good. And nowadays, I'm afraid because people are coming to see me and I don't want to suck. So
Right.
in both situations, I just don't want to let them down. I don't want to let them down.
I would agree with that. Ron, how about you in terms of like how it's evolved and how things have changed in the years?
I think we
I think we
might have
might have
lost
lost him
Ron
there.
for a
That's okay.
second. He's putting at the moment.
Hey man,
But
No, I
this
swear
man's
to
got
God,
a
I'm not. Can you still hear me?
yeah,
yeah, we
we
can
can
hear
hear
you.
you.
Oh, I'm on safe driving mode. I don't know
Oh,
how I did.
okay. Those cards, they get to some high speeds there, so Zoom has got to be
so,
careful.
so I'll take
Uh,
this opportunity to say so. Ron, you want to answer that question? Because if not, I'll fill the time with something that just came up.
well,
Um,
if you can hear me,
yeah, we can
We
hear
can
you.
hear you.
okay. Yeah, listen, I haven't been on a regular comedy club circuit in 23 years. I've been playing theaters for 23 years, and
Yeah.
when I left that environment, I really never really went back to it until till the mothership, and that's kind of a different story. But once I got out, as far as content goes, I'm really pretty uncancelable because my fans don't care what I say. They proved that the
Right.
first time they paid, and then the second time. And I think the last show I did was about 4,000 people. So, um, I really haven't paid much attention to the woke, but I was never a mean comic anyway. But but I did a lot of stuff about gay people, but most gay people loved it, so I didn't
Right.
care. Um, it was just designed to make laughs, and at Rogan's Club, all the phones are in a bag and nobody can touch them. So you can, that's it's designed where you can, say what would be the most pathetic thing if there was an organization you had to go to, a government organization, and have your comedy pre-approved by them, then it would all suck. And
Yeah,
Right.
it would.
and the ultra woke comics, uh, you know, if there are any, I would bet that they suck too.
Well, they're not selling tickets because we don't know who they are, right? So I mean,
Right.
it's definitely a poor business. Speaking on number one tequila again, you guys have done a lot of cool marketing and different partnerships for this. Of course, the Hellcat giveaway for scleroderma research, if I can get that
Yeah.
out. Yeah, and of course, partnering with military charities. Maybe if you could speak on, your inspiration for that and how you go about selecting these different ventures.
Ron, you want to take the military part?
Well, the United States of America is put in an odd position, a global position, and as a result of that, we need a military. And and that whether we make good decisions or bad decisions or whatever, we got to have a military. It's got to be strong. And those young men and women put their life on the line all over the world. So if we could do anything to tie this back to helping with PTSD or any kind of struggles that the veterans are having, we'll do it. And that's just smart, but it's also something that we feel from our heart.
Absolutely,
Uh,
from our heart.
and the rest of it, Alex can talk about because he does way more day to day than I do.
The scleroderma came from a dear friend of ours named Saville in Vegas, who has that disease. And I got to be honest with you, I'd never heard of it until it came to us through him. But it seems like since then, um, it's unbelievable how many people I've talked to. They go, "Oh, I had that," or "My friend has that," and it's a terminal disease, and it's basically and then I don't think I'm doing it justice, but it's the hardening of the skin. It's an ugly death. It needs research, and we gave to that because we wanted to be a part of it because of our CEO Rich Espy was dear friends with Savile and um, uh, John Henner, one of our partners, is the guy that number one partner that was his Hellcat, and so we wrapped it, and we just try to bring awareness to what's going on. Another charity that we like to do that I'm a big fan of, not fan of, but I like to pay attention to is ALS. That's what my father passed away from. And there's so many things out there that if we can help, we're going to do our very best. Because here's the cool part: we have a good time when we do it. We have a good time. We bring fun. We like to say, as number one tequila goes to play, we like to see, you tell us what party you're having, and we'll show you how we can enhance it and raise awareness. And we just did some golf tournaments with John Daly, and I believe his is the Arkansas Home for Kids,
Nice.
and again, we just try to join the party and make it more fun. And when people are having fun, people that have means, and people that don't have means, tend to let those pockets loose a little bit and give for a good cause. And so we like to do that if possible with number one.
Man, I absolutely love that. Also another thing that you guys do, which is really cool, is, you pride yourselves on not compromising quality for mass production, which is something that I think a lot of companies are terrible with. Maybe if you could speak on that, the difference between small batch versus mass production.
Well, I could talk about that for just a little bit.
There you go.
One of the great misnomers in tequila is 100% blue agave, but they never talk about the ripeness of the plant. That plant doesn't get ripe and should not be harvested for 7 or 8 years. But if you harvest it at 4, you get a burn in your tequila, and it costs half as much to make. And so even if somebody buys a tequila company that's making very good tequila, first thing they'll do is back off of that, because it's just hard to stare at a plant for 7 or 8 years before you cut it down and make tequila with it.
For sure.
Tequila is only spirit or beer or wine. Everything else is made from products that are grown in one season, and that's not true with tequila. That's what makes it complicated. Our distiller, Revesca's, they would never ever. They wouldn't let us do it if we wanted to, which we don't.
Nice.
They're craftsmen. I mean, they are just artists, and they do it a special way. And made a tequila that we fell in love with, Alex and I did. And that's the only reason that we have it in our hands today, is because we loved it so much. We were not
Genuinely.
Tequila business.
I'm sure it's not the first offer you've gotten in your, careers, right? So, I mean, you obviously, you're going to go with something you love.
Well, it wasn't an offer. I mean, we went down and on a crawl, and a friend of Alex's said, "Don't forget to go to this distillery. It isn't the nicest one, but they're making the best tequila." And we went over there and just found out they didn't have a U.S. presence. So we started thinking of ways, Alex did, of how we could help with that. Not even make it ours, just help them. And
my intention was just to be able to keep drinking it, because I had never run across a line, which I like a lot of tequila lines. I'm sorry, I should reverse it. I don't like their line. There's bottles in their line that I like, but there's plenty more that I don't like. And this one, I liked everything they were making. And so my intention was, I just wanted to keep drinking it. And like Ron said, when he let us know there was not a U.S. presence, we just wanted to share it. We just wanted to put everybody in the same mood that we're in, and I wanted to be able to continue to drink it. And it's been a labor of love. It's a labor of passion, and to the artistry that Ron was talking about. We love them because they're artists and because they won't compromise. And I like to feel that we're kind of the same way. If someone came to Ron or myself and said, "Hey, well, like he was talking about this woke situation,
Right.
you got to do this because everything's doing, and we're like, yeah, no,
Can't
we're
compromise.
listening to the consumer, and the consumer, whether it be a joke or a spirit or a shoe or whatever, quality always stands out. And Ron and I, we have
We
a
wear
few
nice
partners.
shoes.
Well, we wear nice shoes. We
There you
have we
go.
have a few we have a few partners, but we're still a small company. We do
Yeah.
this at our pace. We're not a major, we're not Brown Forman or Diageo or any of those guys. And then those are great companies, right? That handle a lot of spirits. It's Ron and Alex and some friends, and because of that, we're moving at a snail's pace. But that's okay. We don't have to sell tequila to the whole world. We just have to sell all the tequila that we can make. And now we're in Canada, and I should say this because you go to the website numberjuantequila.com and there's a button specifically for Canada, and they'll ship it right to
Beautiful.
your front door. And then you can start asking the state run situation how to get it in the liquor stores. I don't know how that works exactly. You guys do,
Yep.
but for now you can get it to your front door.
We
Which
love
is
that.
even better.
Which is even better. I mean, why go out in the cold over here? You know what I mean? I could use some of that
Right.
delivery. To wrap up, the number one yacht in Cabo. This was really interesting to me. You guys offer daily charters for this. Just curious, like, how did you come up with this idea?
Go ahead,
Well,
Alex.
it's fun. It's fun. It's fun. We have fun partners. One of our partners, John Henner, and that is his company, and he went down to Cabo, bought a home at one time, and has a friend that had a charter company. They had one yacht. And business was kind of booming. And then they got the opportunity to pick up another yacht, and John called and said, "Hey, I'm going to pick up this yacht. It's 100-footer, and it comes with a fishing boat. Is it
Wow.
cool with you guys if we name it the Number Juan and the Little Juan?" And we were like, "Of course!"
Hell yeah.
And now they have 5 yachts, 120-foot neoprene, and of course they're all beautiful. But here's the beautiful part about them: when you're on them, you are served Number Juan tequila.
Nice.
And so people are going down there, discovering a great time, discovering Mexico and a Mexican product that happens to be distributed throughout the U.S. and now Canada, and that Ron and I are behind. And so again, show us a party, we'll enhance it, we'll make it better, and we do it through us, we do it through our friends, and we're just trying to have a good time.
Have a great time,
Hey,
man.
Ron,
Right.
I should tell him about a personal inside joke that Ron and I it's not even a joke. Every once in a while when we're around each other and we realize how much fun we're having, we just turn, look at each other, and just start laughing out loud. and that is not a laughter of vanity. It's just a laughter of, can you believe we're still having this much fun?
We're at work
Taylor
right
and
now.
Yeah,
Right?
and we've done it so many times, and when we were young kids making nothing, those are some of the best times. Wouldn't you agree, Tater?
We took off across the country. Both. I was in my late 20s, early. You were you were 13, and we took off across the country in either his Toyota pickup or my Nissan pickup, and we'd drive 800 miles. And I think I was the feature act, making $100 a show or something, or I don't know how much I was making, not very much. And Alex was the opening act. Somebody else was the headliner, and we just had so much fun. We didn't have a nickel to our names, and but we partied, and we liked the party. So we wrote it out and turned it into a couple of great careers over the
I love
decade.
it, man. That's so badass.
And then, to this day, Alex and I are ridiculously close, and really live as brothers, and always will. And the number one tequila was one step of that, and but there have been many, but we're in love with the company, and Alex, I've told Alex a long time ago, let's keep it as long as we can, and really build a solid little company, and then I'll agree to do. I let Alex runs it. I mean, he's the president of the company, and I'm an investor, so I do this kind of stuff. And but Alex works his butt off every day on this tequila company, and
I drink a lot. I drink a lot.
Good times.
I drink a lot.
He keeps the trucks running. But
gotta keep it in the veins, man.
And you know what? To that comment, we are trying to run a great little company that's spreading fun, and I'm just going to say this out loud because the truth is we need everybody. We need everybody to trust Ron and myself, who have been entrusted with the party for 30 plus years, and you were trustworthy in that situation, because if you follow us, not on Twitter and all that stuff, yes, but if you follow us personally, if you see us somewhere, hang out, and I guarantee you, you're going to end up having a good time that night. And so right now we're saying to everybody out there, trust us and go to the website, order a bottle, and get you one to your front door. Whether you get the Blanco, the Reposado, or the Extra Añejo, I can promise you, and I'll give you a little pointer. If you drink vodka or gin or tequila, the silver stuff, get the silver bottle.
Yeah.
Any way you enjoy your vodka or gin, you can do with this tequila bottle. You can sip it neat, and you'll be in great shape. If you like blended whiskeys, or you're an Irish whiskey drinker, let's say you don't drink tequila, get the red bottle. Get the red bottle. It'll feel familiar to your palate. And if you're a Scotch, a bourbon, or a cognac drinker, get the black bottle. And that's the one that Ron drinks. That's the one he gravitated towards. And just enjoy it for a week or two, and then you let us know how you feel after that, because here's the difference. It's just a better approach to the buzz that you've always been chasing. Those palates that, like I said, that's kind of which bottle you want to go towards. But I believe after 2 weeks, you're going to go, well, I didn't realize I had a hangover those days.
Yeah.
I always equate it to, it's almost like when you take your roller skates off and your feet are just lighter. That's the way kind of that you'll feel. And I know this because I've been drinking tequila since I was 16. I've never varied from it. And it's just it's a better approach to a buzz.
I absolutely love it, guys.
One of the things that's really saved us is the younger generations read reviews. And so you could scream you're the greatest thing in the world with your $1 billion advertising budget, but if you don't have reviews to back it up, they won't buy it. So when they hear about us, they look at the reviews, find out that we are one of the most beloved spirits on the planet, according to the drinkers, and that's what makes them give us a try, and makes them walk beyond that $1 billion advertising budget that Patron has. To have a little a shot at a better tequila, and which is what you get. So, and we love those guys and drank Patron for years. And
yeah, we do. Yeah, and mad props to them for introducing America and the world to premium tequila, because we all grew up on something else that won't be spoken. And but they did introduce us to premium tequila. And again, the difference between, I believe, what they have and what we have is a mass-produced product compared to something small batch and handcrafted and just gorgeous.
It's an incredible product, guys. And listen, I congratulate you guys on all the success with it. It's phenomenal. Number One Tequila is going to be available to all of our Canadian viewers. It's available now for delivery. We have the link down below in the description. It will also be available at Wine and Beyond and East Village Liquor Boutique. Ron and Alex, thank you so much for your time, guys. You guys rock.
Cassius, thank you, brother.
Thank you very much, and we appreciate it. And love Canada, guys.
Love it.
Number One Tequila, and can't wait to get back up there.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. Take care, everybody.